I have made it to page 40 in Beautiful Little Fools, and I am hooked. It took less than 50 pages, so it's an alternating timeline to what happened at the end of Gatsby, trying not to spoil things, and when Daisy and Jay start, like, find each other. And that's what the question mark is what happens afterwards, what happened at the end of Gatsby. That's the fun, that's the curiosity. So I am in it. I am excited to read more, and I will update you in progress. I'm also listening to Funny Story on my way home right now, so I'm gonna play that on the drive home. I'm also still reading the third From Blood and Ash book, which I have gotten more invested in and interested in. So I have a lot of stories, a lot of things going on, and I am really excited about it and thriving. I apologize if you can hear the air conditioning in my car, but it is hot today. I finished reading Funny Story by Emily Henry. Oh my gosh, I loved it. I loved it. And I have to say, like, the biggest thing for me is that the miscommunication completely, totally had a realistic explanation for it. And I was worried initially that it wasn't going to, but it did. Blew me away. I cried, happy, sad, joyous, all of the emotions. I felt them. And I have to say, I read it on audiobook. And Julie Whalen is the narrator. She is outstanding, absolutely outstanding, which reminds me that she has her own book that she wrote called Thank You for Listening. And on audiobook, she narrates it herself. So she's an audiobook narrator who wrote a book about an audiobook narrator. And I'm going to start listening to that next. And as far as Beautiful Little Fools, I am 60%, 75%, somewhere in there. And I'm reading it on paper. I don't know. But it feels about 60, 75% done. It lost me for a little while. I have to say I got bored, but it's bringing me back in. And also, not even just bored, but just like some of the things that happen just feel so dark, and it's just a lot of dark, and it's just I don't want to be sad reading, like 100%. Like, yes, I want, like, Funny Story, kind of like sad, like bawling my eyes out because of what's happening, but not like the way that Beautiful Little Fools is. It's like this, like, really, really harsh, like, stuck, desperate, depressionist, sad. I get enough of that in life. I don't want to read that. And it'd be one thing because it follows like 3 or 4 different characters, like, or 5 even. Like, it'd be one thing if it was 1 or 2 of them, but it's all of them are in a bad place. It was just too much. But I broke through that. I'm still reading. It's gotten me back into it a little bit. I can kind of see it, like the light at the end of the tunnel kind of thing, where it's wrapping up. Things are happening a little bit faster now, so it's a little bit easier to read it. I'm also reading the third From Blood and Ash book, which I'm taking my time with. And yeah, I hope Funny Story becomes a movie. It seems like it's one of those stories, and even as a book, I might even reread it. And I don't reread books because there's so many books to read and it takes so long to read them. I don't reread them, but as if it was a movie, it would be one of those movies that I just watch over and over and over again. Unfortunately, I don't think Jake Johnson can be Miles, because Jake Johnson is currently 45 and Miles is 33 to 35, something like that. He might be able to pull it off if they start filming it like now, but if it takes a couple more years, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, but that's all right. It's fine. But I could picture Jake Johnson, and I really wanted it to be him if they did a movie, but whatever. I'm sure they cast somebody good. And I guess Emily Henry's books are becoming movies, like other ones, and I know I have to read her other books. I want to read Beach Read. I've heard lots of positive things about that one, but it's like I want to pace it out, because Emily Henry is now like one of my favorites, and if I read all of her books and binge them, then what, it's like the show hole, like the book hole. Like, what am I gonna read that I like am obsessed with now? Although there are Hallie Hazelwood books that I still want to read too, and I really do like Hallie Hazelwood. But yeah, like when I'm driving and listening to audiobooks, I need like those cozy romance, rom-com style things. So I don't know. I just don't want to burn through all of Valley Hazelwood and all of Emily Henry so quickly, you know. But that's my update where I'm at. I'm not going to finish this vlog until I finish Beautiful Little Fools, but I just want to update where I'm at and that I finished Funny Story, and I absolutely loved it, and I'm sad that it's over. So, yeah. I finally finished. Is this upside down? It's upside down. I finally finished, and I finished 2 days before it's due back to the library. I did not read this one very quickly, and that tells you what you need to know. No, seriously though, like the first like 40 pages, I was not feeling it. The first chapter, which is like, what, the prologue? It's kind of like a prologue. I don't know, maybe it's not, but the first chapter was good. And then I was not hooked. And then around page 50, I was like, okay, I'm in it. And then some point midway, it was like just dark. It wasn't even like good, like story structure, like the dark moment, just like it was just dark, and I didn't want to pick it up. I literally didn't want to pick it up. I think I put it down for like 3 or 4 days, and then I was like, all right, I'm gonna keep reading, see what happens, because I'm curious about what happened, you know, who Jillian Cantor thinks shot Gatsby. I was really curious, so I pushed through. There was a point where I picked up a little bit again, and then when it started to stray from the original story, like the portrayal, I don't know how much I want to say because I don't want to spoil it, but like the portrayal of the relationships was not what it was in the original Great Gatsby. She changed some things, and that threw me. I was like, no, hell no, I don't like that. So the way it ends, it was the person I thought it would be. The other side of the story, I was a little surprised to see because I didn't expect that. So yeah, I don't know, 2 stars. I did not enjoy this. I didn't enjoy this. I didn't enjoy the experience of reading it. I felt like it strayed too far from the original story. I didn't like most of the characters. I definitely didn't like Daisy at all. And not in a good way, you know, like there's a good way to dislike characters and dislike main characters. This was just like not good. The Fiction Writer by Jillian Cantor, I loved that. I read that real fast, really enjoyed it. I think the ending was not what I wanted it to be, but I still enjoyed it. This was hard. This was trudging through mud to read. I did not enjoy this. So anyway, I will leave that here. I might pick up another book at the library. I have not decided yet. There are some books I'm interested in reading. I kind of want to read an Emily Henry, like on paper, but I also really enjoy listening to her books on commute, so I don't know if I will. The other thing I have is the Crescent City book. I might pick that up. I'm kind of feeling like I could dip my toe back in the water for Sarah J. Maas. We'll see. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Comment below if you've read any of these books, or you know, if you are, what you're interested in reading next. I'd be really curious to see, you know, what other people are interested in reading, favorite authors, that kind of thing. And I will see you next time.